Welcome back, everyone. Today is probably the hottest day I have ever witnessed in my life in Germany. It's not even 36 degrees yet. It's gonna be in like 2 or 3 hours. Now it's only 34 degrees outside. So I am trying to not die. That's also why I have the windows open and the fan on. And the computer is running a bit hot. So if there's more sounds in the background, I'm sorry, but I kind of want to survive. So I will leave the windows open for now. But today is also the day I bring you my first league game of this season against SnowWolfie. I'm pretty sure he was Division 1 last season and got demoted. Poor guy. No, I mean, poor guy. You know, you get demoted when you lose, so it's not like random. It's more like me. I'm the poor guy because I had to play against Division 1 player. We are on death row, and I picked 7th Panzer Division. He went with 25, yeah. He picked the map. I remembered that. Yeah, and I first picked 7th Panzer. He took like 5 minutes to counter pick because I banned a lot of good divisions. Then he decided to pick 25. Yeah, I think 9th Panzer and 20th Panzer were both banned, if I'm not completely mistaken. And Death Row is famously a very good map for T-72s. Now, with the recent patch, T-72s have been nerfed, and there are people that are not going to be named that have been absolutely pissing and shitting themselves over how T-72 divisions are now going to be completely useless. It's so over. It's worn over. It has never been more over than now. But I'm going to be honest, T-72 divisions are still completely fine. In my opinion, they're honestly still like part of the A-tier divisions in the game. They aren't S-tier, and they might not even be high A-tier, but they're still very good. Now, obviously, I picked 7th Panzer because, as I said, 9th and 20th have been banned, and I think 7th Panzer is now pretty good because you get those cheap T-72s that are just T-72s. They have the worst gun. I think the armor is the same as on the M, at least. It also has 15 armor, if I'm not completely mistaken. But they also lack smoke, and that's kind of bad. But they only cost 130 points, which means you can get 2 of them per minute, which is pretty nice, and you get 5 of them per card if you take them at Vet 1. Then you also can get 3 cards of T-55s in 7th Panzer, as you saw. I take only 2 cards because I still want to take, other tanks as well. So you can get a lot of early pressure with 7th Panzer, and then you can also air spam very well. Your air slots are more expensive than in 9th Panzer, but your bombers are better because you get the cheap MiG-21 bombers and the MiG-23MF, I think it is, the dive bomber with the 6 500 kilogram bombs. I'm not sure whether 9th gets the seat as well. I don't think they do. So you have a lot of good planes. Obviously, you need to make adjustments in the other tabs to fit it in, but I think it's honestly pretty good. You also have the Spezialaufklärer, so GSR Recon. Well, BRM is like in every Soviet division. So just, and you also obviously get the infantry that all has Resolute, and I take them a double vet, which makes them like almost triple vet infantry. Not exactly because they obviously then still miss the accuracy and the rate of fire on their guns, but cohesion-wise, they're just insane. And your tanks also get Resolute. So yeah, I think that T-72 divisions are still more than fine. Now 25, yeah. With the T-72 nerfs, I think 25 is now a pretty okay counter to T-72 divisions because the T-64s haven't been nerfed. So relatively speaking, T-64s are no better against T-72s, especially because they also have an autoloader, but very importantly, they have the better autoloader. If I'm not completely tripping, I think they have like 9 or 10 rate of fire, I think, which makes a big difference. They are obviously also, they are more expensive. It's the better tank that's more expensive, but especially with the T-64As, you also get some cheap tanks. So I think it's a pretty okay counter, honestly. Now let's quickly go over my deployment. You can see 3 Spezialaufklärer. No, it's actually all 4 of them deployed. Going to, well, spreading them out on the map. 1 Nordaufklärer to the far right and 1 Conqueror's vehicle, so very light deployment on the right hand side. 2 Me-2s to the center. 1 Conqueror's vehicle to the left. Then we have towards the center 1 command, Conquerors and Great Launcher going to, the Conquerors is going into this building, that's very standard. And the Great Launcher, I wanted to get it into here because I wanted to get control of Anna as soon as possible. Because of course I did get the bad side of death row, so that's where my advance was going to be. Coup and struggeled M for some early air defense. 2 of the cheap T-72s and 2 Mod Schützen, all going to the left side. I know that I will be faster than him on the front because he doesn't get any airborne forward deployed. He gets heavier forward deployed because he gets recon beam P2s. Might even have the recon T-64. Well, it's kind of unlikely that he takes it in this matchup, in the sense of he opens with it in this matchup. Though, who knows. Yeah, I really like this position for the Spezialaufklärer. Once you move them up here, you can see it has some good vision over the valley here, and then you can also watch this tree line, which is pretty important. BRDM unfortunately spotting my Spezialaufklärer and shooting at them. Spezialaufklärer here were able to get in quite far, and then I see a bunch of armored vehicles coming through here, so I know that he will be contesting this sector, which makes sense. I guess he predicted that I would try to attack this area as soon as possible, which, yeah, as I said, makes sense, because if you don't take this early on, I feel like it is very hard to take it later. And this is like the reason why I just hate this map. If you play on this side, it's not impossible to win, but you're just on the back foot for no reason at all, just because fuck you. While the enemy can contest this sector so much easier than you can contest this sector. Now he's opening with 4 drones, well, not opening, but calling in 4 drones at a time. I saw him do that in another match already, so should have honestly expected that, but I didn't. Though luckily I do have the struggeled M, which I didn't call in specifically for them, but will be able to shoot down the Schmel. Calling in a MiG-23 was honestly a mistake, because I know that he has Su-27s, and I get 1 drone but then get shot down by the Su-27, so completely wasted the MiG-23 here, unfortunately. Coup misses, as well you would expect. Struggeled M unfortunately is confused by the target-rich environment it's facing, and then doesn't hit the Su-27. The drones are slowly being whittled down, but they do have a hidden ECM stat, kind of, in the sense of that they're harder to hit than normally. So the struggeled M takes its time, and now it's reloading. Spezialaufklärer here unfortunately die, and the Spezialaufklärer here are also gonna die to the T-64, so lost both of them already, kind of unfortunate. I have to really watch out with the engagement of my T-72s, because the T-64s get smoke while I don't, so I have to micro them in and out of the forest as best as I can. Kind of failing here, but luckily he misses 1 shot on the T-72, so I get out. Other T-72 goes down. I get a T-64B command in return, though. That's a trait that's absolutely fine. Like, I don't know how much the T-64B command is actually worth, because it's the one without error. But I think it's 240 points or something. Oh, that's absolutely worth it. It's almost twice the cost of the T-72. Su-25 rocket comes in, kills off the Great Launcher, gets hit once in return by the struggeled M. Oh no, gets hit twice. But now the struggeled M is out of ammo, Coup is out of ammo. T-55As are coming in, but unfortunately that was not the completely correct call, because the T-64s at the ranges here are still pretty good. If, you know, we would be fighting maybe here, from here to here, the T-55A would be really good. But at those ranges, unless I get a side shot, that's not very nice. another very nice engagement for me. So that's why I'm retreating the T-55s now, because there's not really a lot of, yeah, a lot of ground to gain for me. Like, I'm sorry, the heat is already getting to me. The Motor from him on this side are slowly moving forward, but he hasn't contested the zone yet, which was very weird in my opinion, because like he must have known that I had all of my investment here, and the investment on this side must have been very minimal. Does finally get his BMP2 in, his command BMP2. Yeah, now completely retreating my tanks because I didn't have any infantry to screen my tanks there, so his Motostrelki with the 18-pen RPG could have just moved into the forest, and well, they're literally doing it right now, and kill my tanks. And that's just not what I want to happen right now. SPW kills the BRDM here, which is a nice kill. Conqueror's got one hit on the T-64s, but yeah, unfortunately no kill or anything. I do see the BMP here, I guess with the recon. Oh no, actually with the Spezialaufklärer here, I think. So I call him the MiG-23. Well, then I noticed that he still has the Su-27 circling around, or well, a new Su-27. Or the same one that came back, I don't know. But either way, fresh Su-27 circling around in the back. So my MiG-23 has a very low chance of getting through, if at all. So I'm keeping it back for the moment. You see, I wanted to bomb the BMP2, but then I saw the Su-27 and thought that might not be the greatest idea. I'm already a little bit behind in the trades, at least I felt like. So might not be the greatest idea. T-64 just drives into the SPW, but doesn't see me, so he doesn't have any recon here, and then he gets stunned because he gets hit twice, and then I move the T-72 up here and get a perfect kill on the T-64. Su-27 was out for a moment for him, so I go in, bomb the BMP2, might even be able to get out with a MiG-23, so that would be a very nice bombing run. Yes, I do. BMP2 command, you only get 2 of those. I think they're only 90 points, so they aren't as expensive. But still very nice kill. Both of the recon though still alive, a little bit annoying. But infantry here has finally arrived, so I'm pushing back his Motostrelki. T-72 here unfortunately hasn't been able to be repaired up completely. I wanted to, well, like, I wanted just to move it up as quick as possible because I killed the T-64A, so I knew that I could put on some pressure, because it's like, yeah, one tank down. So one less tank to deal with for me. Kill of the Borussia with, I guess, the T-55 got the kill. Very nice. Now I'm also keeping the T-72 back here to repair it. Artillery coming in on the Spezialaufklärer. Already lost 2 of them, so yeah, really don't want to lose all of them. Called in 1 T-55 here to get rid of the Motor, and yeah, working pretty well. And now T-55 engaging and T-64 engaging the T-55, and yeah, you can see it's just such a bad engagement for me. And here I don't smoke off the T-72. Oh no, I smoked it off here. And I did retreat it down here. Maybe should have retreated it slightly more to the left so that the smoke could have like concealed it for a longer amount of time. The Spezialaufklärer here unfortunately does go down, I guess. An artillery shell scattered along or something. I'm not sure. Which means I still have the Spezialaufklärer here and the Me Too, so I'm not completely out of recon, but in general, only 1 Spezialaufklärer left of 4 after less than 10 minutes is very, very, very bad. T-55A here, in fact, in a very bad position. T-64 could have easily killed it here. Now the artillery coming in for the Conquerors. 25 famously having the Musta S, I think it is. So autoloader 152mm artillery, that is very, very good. T-64 here luckily misses the T-55. On the right hand side, SnowWolfie was trying to get in with one single mod Razvedka and Razvedka BMP2, but I've quickly called in the MiG-23 and bombed the BMP2, so that's dealt with. T-64s here trying to advance, but deciding to retreat again, because once they like cross this threshold, I can sideshot them to death with the tanks here. So that's a good decision by him to retreat. Frontal engagements, you can see it's still fine actually. I do a good damage against the T-64, though to be fair I think it was showing like giga side armor. Get a nice crit with the T-55, so another T-64A down. And getting rid of those is very important, because the T-64B and BVs, they're obviously better, but they also cost more, and the T-64A is just extremely cost efficient against my T-72s. and the T-55s. So the sooner I get rid of them, the better. Modschützen SVD. Moving forward, I really want to get control over this forest patch, but it's kind of hard because it doesn't provide as much cover as you might think. So it's very easy to get fire supported down from the left or from the right. One T-55 going down, not that well done by me. But a T-72M command is now coming in, and I have bought in a MiG-21 AG to bomb the NORTHAG here, get a nice bombing run in. Doesn't seem to be any AA there yet, which was a little bit weird. But, well, yeah, it is what it is. Decided to maybe position the T-72 a little bit further to the right behind the building and not completely in the open, because I actually don't have that many tanks. And I was assuming that there must be some reinforcements coming in here, considering that, like, there's nothing going on this side, and there was just a small probing attack on the right, and then that was it. So most of his reinforcements must be coming into this side here. There's a MiG-24 rocket now, which is a little bit of a problem, because I do have the struggeled M, but struggeled M only outranges its ATGM, or the ATGM of the MiG-24 by 25 meters, so it can realistically be killed by the MiG-24, and the MiG-24 is now wrecking my infantry. Buying in the MiG-23 to dive it, because there was no AA when the MiG-21 came in, so I decided that that might be an idea that works out, but yeah, unfortunately the S-27 came in and kills my MiG-23 on its way out. Does get hit by the coup once, doesn't get hit twice. To be fair, that's what you would expect in an S-27 against the MiG-23 duel, but to be fair, struggeled M could have also hit. And then I would have killed the S-27 in return, but unfortunately didn't, so that's 2 of my 3 fighters already down. Yeah, the fighter engagement's really not going too well for me. Pushing up the SPW Conquerors, called in a second one, and positioning them into this forest line here. It's a little close to the front line, where the T-64s can be firing back at them, but it's now a real better position for me to like put them in here to actually support tank fightings. Like, I can put them back here together with the tanks to have a ambush position, but at some point I need to attack, because I need to get control of the sector, which is the whole problem of this map. Like, I can have a perfect crossfire here, but as soon as I have to attack into the sector, I just don't know what to do, really. Once you take these positions, it's fine, but against a good player like SnowWolfie, like, he knows that. That's why he's just investing all of his stuff into this area, because if he grinds me down all the time, like, you can see I'm barely ticking. I was ticking for some time, but then the command T-72 was hit and, well, I didn't want it to die. So if he's grinding here, and he's like grinding more or less 1-to-1, like, I'm grinding to win and he's just grinding to keep me back. And if he's grinding better than 1-to-1, it's just a matter of time until he just wins by the sheer amount of points that he accumulates, or units that he accumulates, rather. Coup here in a little bit of a bad position, though gets the hit on the MiG-29. Okay, never mind. I guess because it flies higher, it was still able to track, because normally if you sit behind the hill, it's a little bit dangerous, because the radar AA might lose track if the plane flies away too far. Mi-24 again being annoying. I have an Eagler here and an Eagler here, but they still need to move up, so yeah, that's the problem. T-72 command gets tracks broken. Very annoying crit, because that means that I will not be able to move out. T-72 here just sitting, taking the concourse, the co-cones from the Mi-24. Struggeled M does get a hit, but the Mi-24 routes and flies it back, so unfortunately won't be able to get a follow-up hit on the Mi-24. Should have, yeah, now I noticed that the Mi-24 is falling back, so I retreat to Struggeled M. Howitzer did come in for my coups, but it's just a single howitzer, and it's far out of range of the corrected shot, so it actually just spread the damage between the MTLB and the coup. Which is why you should always try to use double howitzers, or if you use one howitzer, always use it within corrected shot range. Another T-64 command tech, didn't see whether this was a B or a BV command, gets hit heavily, wanted to bomb it, but it drove behind the hill, so I lost sight. Decided to keep my bomber back, because you really want to build up critical mass with your bombers, and obviously also maybe use C together with them. But yeah, more tanks coming in. So again, 2 T-72s. As I said, you can buy 2 of those per minute, so it's just... The logic is, the tanks aren't good, but you can get so many of them that you overwhelm your enemy. Plus I have tanks here, though they are damaged, so supply is already on the way yet to repair them, though this won't be enough to repair the 3 tanks there. Or 2 tanks that are damaged. Igla also finally in position, but I mean, Me-24 has already fallen back. On the right side, like, still nothing going on. I was so confused. Like, as I said, I understand that it makes sense for him to grind me down on the left side, but, like, literally just move in a command here, and there's nothing I can do against that. MiG-23 comes into bomb, but yeah, unfortunately now he has an A in it up and it instantly gets killed. And it doesn't kill the T-64 in return. Survives on like a 1 HP. Do move my tanks up because I wanted to kill it off quickly, but it falls back behind the ridge and yeah, very unfortunate. Here, I don't know what spotted my Spezialaufklärer, because obviously my Spezialaufklärer is exceptional recon, so if a recon sees it, it should see the recon as well. But like, there was nothing there, and he just randomly bombed it, or I don't know what happened there, so all my Spezialaufklärer are dead. Kind of sad. Yeah, it's a T-64 BK, so once again the one without era, which is important because it only has 16 front armor, which means it gets one shot by 30 AP missiles, which is the one that you get on the bombers, not the bombers, but the attack planes. Now coming in with 2 bombers on a T-64, I kind of was hoping that I would just be lucky and get through the AA net, and of course I get 1 shot on the way in, and I get 2 shot by the Coups, 30% ECM, by the way. MiG-21 dying, that's fine, like, that's... Can't complain about that, but the MiG-23 with 30% ECM getting double tapped by Coups was just... It's just such bullshit. Also, not well done by me, should have just... After the first MiG-23 went in and got killed by the AA, I should have just bought a seat and waited for a seat to come in. But, yeah, skill issue by me, and also just very bad RNG. Put my howitzer on the Coup. I mean, this is out of corrected shot range, but it's so close that it's still fine. You can see it killed the Coup. Normally, I like to use double howitzers, but in this case, I just needed so many tanks on the front line that I couldn't afford double howitzers for now. Tanks are moving forward to engage. The T-72M and M1 here really should have waited longer for it to engage with it, because it was like at half HP, and those tanks I really want to keep them alive. And not very surprisingly, it gets killed. T-55s are trying to do something, but now they're switching up their focus fire again, because target priority, fun, Igla trying to get rid of this Me-24, but struggling to lose 2 tanks, or like even 3 tanks, don't get a kill in return. That's a very bad trade for me. But the thing is, I'm constantly getting my command tank in and out again here, so I'm ticking actually. And now I'm preparing a push here, because I was very confused, because I thought that there would be no way that he doesn't have any units in here, so I decided to start a push here and get the rest of his units out of this area. But I also knew that there can't be that many units there, because he has invested so many points on the left hand side. There is still one Motorzetka there. Recon BMP2 does go down to the T-55 spam. T-55s are just very good, by the way, at dealing with BMP2s if you get them into close range. It's actually kind of funny how good they are. And that S-25 HE comes in, but he mistargets it, I guess, because it drops between the infantry and the tanks, so it doesn't really hit anything. Does get killed in return as well. Coup here out of ammo once again, yeah. I only run 2 cards of supply in my 7th Panzer deck because I just need the points for the maximum air spam. So yeah, I do kind of struggle with resupplying my stuff. Do get them out of the sector, and now those units here, I will start rerouting them to the left and try to see whether I can get some flanking going on here. The SPW conquers here, getting rid of the BRDM together with the Me-24. I just called it a Me-24 because, like, I was assuming he would start a breakthrough, considering that he killed 3 tanks for losing not a single tank. So a Me-24 in a defensive position in the back there would be very, very useful. Only 1 T-55 left here. Still have 4 tanks here with the command T-72, normal T-72, yeah, and just 3 T-72s, all without smoke and less range. Seed came in, but yeah, lol, my Coup is out of ammo, so get fucked. It doesn't get hit in return, of course not. By a double vet Struggeled. Nice. I mean, it's kind of fine. But I'm just still salty because my MiG-23 was double tapped by Coops. That I'm pretty sure aren't even out. No, there might be Vet 1. I'm not sure whether they were Vet 1 or not. But yeah, either way, Sag. T-64A here now engaging the T-55s, both missing at this range. Bruh. One of them dying. Mochitsun though should just move in, and if T-55 misses again. What the hell, man? That's not how this is supposed to go. What are you doing? Get a nice shot. And yeah, the T-64s have the 10 rate of fire autoloader, so very nice. But now still 2 55s left and the BMP-1, so the T-64 is in trouble. Waterflare here dies once again, so I am actually slowly running out of recon. SF-22 comes in to kill the T-64, he smokes off in time, and I again get double tapped. Just... Obviously, once again, skill issue by me, because again, no seat, but like, come on, man. Why do I get double tapped again? He's SF-27, flies over my AA and survives, by the way. Coop was out of ammo, to be fair, but there was a struggled M and an Eagler here. Struggled M might have still been double wet at this point in time. He has a helicopter back here. Yeah, that obviously makes a lot of sense to kill off my tanks, and I don't have any AA up together with them. The Eagler here is too far in the back. T-55s. I retreat them a little bit too early, honestly. If I let them stand here for like a second longer, I could have sniped his Mister, but I was too afraid. MiG-27 again flies into my AA net and gets out again. Eagler does finally get a hit on the SF-25. Struggled M and Eagler maybe finish it off. No, of course they don't. Because why would they? Do need to finally resupply this coup, because like it needs to fire. Concourse here gets a nice shot on a T-64 B1V. This is the T-64 BV without the ATGM. So also a very efficient vehicle at rolling with T-72s, because you still outrage them with your just normal gun, but are just better. T-72M, oh no, it also has 15 armor. Yeah, it's the move that has 16 armor. See the BMP-2 there, the BMP-2 command. Try to maybe get a cheeky kill with the double howitzers, because I do finally have the double howitzers in. Also coding a struggled M now, but yeah, it's a little bit too late. My complete advance here has failed. The tanks are moving forward aggressively, because I also did get some kills on my end, so I thought that I might get lucky and push him out of here finally. SPW Concourse gets a Borussia, so even more kills from the SPW here, doing amazingly well. His artillery went into my units that were clumped up here, but I started moving just before that, so luckily his artillery completely missed. Mi-24 here will be an issue, trying to move the struggled M up, but I also don't want to move it up too far. And it gets a nasty side shot on a T-72, very unlucky. More Mochitsun coming in here, because after I had lost my push moving over to the left side, I thought that he might start investing into this sector, because he must have known that all my units here have died. So just one unit to hold the line. And yeah, that's what I mean with the coup losing tracking while standing behind the hill. Though that might be because before it was standing here, now it's standing closer to the ridge, so that was the mistake here. Mi-24 also needs repairs, but I'm just lacking supplies. But once again, I am ticking. Like, my traits are really not that great, but I somehow am constantly ticking and holding him back. The problem is, how long will I be able to keep this up? Nobody knows. Well, I know, because I have already played this game, but you don't know. Coop does get a hit, very nice. T-72 here does get hit, and now artillery is coming in, so those are in a very bad position now. I need to get out as quickly as possible. Now I'm high in a fighter and a seat, but obviously it's kind of too late, because a lot of my strike planes have gone down, and here I also turned off the coup, but it was a second too late. The MiG-27 gets off the second missile and hits the coup and gets out without being hit once again. Air and AA RNG here really not doing me any favors. Did he get double tipped again? No, I think the S-27 got the hit, but I mean, it still got first hit by the coup. Like, it's even a non-vet coup. Come on, man. What's going on here? That's just bullshit at this point. He is bringing in his infantry, non-vet in BMP-1 Concourses, which was a very weird choice in my opinion. Like, why wouldn't you just take the BMP-2? I think it only costs 10 points more than the BMP-1 Conquerors, and it's just so infinitely better. I understand bringing the infantry in 0-vet because you don't get a lot of it in 25 year. But BMP-1s with the Conquerors? Seriously? If you take, I mean, in my opinion, at least the BMP-1 Conquerors is just completely worthless because it's way too expensive for what it does. As I said, 10 points more and you get a BMP-2 that has the autocannon, which is infinitely better than the piece of shit that is the BMP-1 76mm gun. I mean, yeah. He is a Division 1 player, so I guess, you know, he is the one that knows more about the game than me. I still think it's a wrong thing to do. Trying to target his command tank by standing behind the ridge. I was assuming that he would leave it there for the time being. And you can see that he has a lot of tanks now here. While I mean, I still have a shit ton of tanks in my deck, but I'm just running out of tanks on the front line, which is quite problematic. Still with the Mi-24 in the back, there are some tanks here that get a kill on a T-64, which is very important. Moving forward, might get another kill on another T-64, but then most importantly, missing the kill shot on a T-64, very, very sad. Nice hit there though, double hit is even, but not a kill hit, and didn't smoke off the T-72M in time. So, do lose 2 tanks to 1. No, I don't think I even have killed a single tank. So, again, not a very good tank engagement. Holding him back, but just not being able to whittle him down as much as I would want to. I have a Conquerors here as well now to prevent him from like repositioning to this side here, because honestly, like, this area is really not that well protected for me. He's constantly grinding into my tanks, which, to be fair, he is grinding me down, but the thing is, he could also just like drive around me. Or this area is just so open. MiG-27 seat flying around once again. Strela might finally get a hit. No, it's a max flat Strela, by the way, and it just, oh my god, man, why? This RNG is, looking back at it, I didn't even notice it during the game because I was very focused, but this is like, honestly, this is abysmal. What the fuck am I watching? Oh my god. Okay, well, either way, obviously a max flat Strela can't kill off a single plane, together with, I mean, this Eagle is out of ammo, but an Eagle and another Strela out in M. That makes total sense. BRM1 here. I was repositioning it to see how much he had on the right-hand side, like the far right. Because I was assuming, well, if he doesn't have anything here, and he has a shit ton of tanks on the left-hand side, that, like, the right-hand side must be, like, super empty. Once again, though, I mean, I still have all my resources on the left. This is just, you know, scouting for a push later on, maybe. I have still also units on the left side. As it got an infantry unit into the buildings here, which is annoying. My tanks will be able to deal with it, but it will do a lot of damage before that happens with the 18 pen RPG. More Schützen here. Yeah, that's the problem I'm talking about. Even if you're sitting here, you can see the enemy can't see you from that side of the forest. So that's a thing that I kind of tend to forget because I don't play Death Row that often, because I think it's just a shit map. It's like an okay beginner map because it's so brain dead. But I just really don't like the map. Like, it would be okay if this sector wouldn't be so hilariously unbalanced. It's just so dumb. I don't know. BMP-2 here smokes off before I can kill it off. Kind of unfortunate. More tanks have arrived here. Now you can see it's a lot more T-72Ms and M1 here as well. So, you know, tanks that I can actually finally smoke off as well. The engagement here for him, again, going well because it kills off one T-72 while my T-72s don't get a single kill. The plane does get finally some value without getting instantly, like, nuked in return. Oh, never mind, the A-27 double hits me. Wow. And it gets... Oh my god. What the hell? I bet you it survives as well while getting out. Yeah, of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it survive? MiG-27 seat comes in. Oh my god, my AA did finally do something after it let the A-77 through. 3 Strela 10Ms, by the way, and the Igla was most likely out of ammo already. But still, like, what the hell, man? What is this? Will the SP-25 go down? Yes, it will. Nice. More SPW conquerors coming in. He is now spamming a shit ton of infantry with 0 vet and BMP ones. T-72 being rerouted here because I really don't want to engage the T-64s in this case. I wanted to get rid of all of the BMP ones because those could be really annoying later on. Will the AA get a single fighter? No, of course it won't. They get both of my helicopters and the AA does fuck all. It's now out of ammo and has killed, like, what's the one plane? No, it killed 2 because it killed the Seat and the SP-25, to be fair. But still, like, what the actual fuck is this? I'm fine with them getting through because I don't have coups, like, that's okay, but seriously? Like, are we for real? Both fighters surviving. Bruh. So, I am still 500 points ahead. But he is slowly but surely whittling me down on the front line. As I said, I still have so much stuff in my deck. The problem is that the front line is just constantly being whittled down, which is rather annoying. Now he's starting to push into this area, which is what he should have done a long time ago. T-72M here dying once again. Was busy migrating somewhere else, so I didn't notice the Conquerors. Misses the side shot. Come on, man. That would have been very important. More T-72M and M1 coming in. So you can see, like, I am still spamming infantry like there's no tomorrow, right? I have, like, most of my infantry left. I would say about 70% of my T-72M and M1s are also still left in my deck. T-72... Why wasn't it shooting? It was just driving towards the T-64. No way it wasn't able to pen at this range. Okay, so... obvious bullshit going on, as always. Trying to reposition the Conquerors here to engage the T-64s that I now also can't see anymore. Fun. Luckily misses both its shots there, which was very lucky for me. Here, one Murchison I think went down because it got sniped in transport. Why is this motor struggling? Max event? What the fuck? Also has me 8 rockets now in. The Struggeled died, I would assume here, yeah. So T-72 here gets the Motostrelki. A bunch of T-64s on this side now will be able to drive through here, but my Mordschützen with the BTR Mordschützen are coming in now. Those have the 18-pen RPG as well, which is now very important because I can completely cut off his rotation from this side. And I'm still kind of holding this sector. I mean, well, I have lost all my stuff in the sector, but I am artillerying his back. I still have the Conquerors here. Struggeled is trying to deal with the Mi-8. Most likely will fail because my AA is just like, I don't know what's going on with him this game, honestly. Honest to God, I do not understand. It's reloading, that's why it was taking so long. I was really wondering. Artillery coming into this area, but a little bit too far back. Do get rid of the Mi-8. Wow, fantastic. Struggeled doing something. So the artillery is actually missing the infantry, but very painfully stunning down the T-72. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck happened here? Well, yeah. Unfortunately, SnowWolfie disconnected at this point in time. It's the second time now this happened for him against me. Last time was on the last patch, playing in the FOB tournament. And I'm the only one he disconnects against. So, this game was a kind of unfortunate win. Because, I mean, it's a disconnect, kind of. He was pushing me, he was out-trading me. I don't think it was like a free win for him at this point. I still think that I stood a very good chance of fighting back because, as I said, I just had so much stuff left and his right-hand side was completely unprotected. I wanted to start a push in there after I would have finished off dealing with the push in the center, which I could have very realistically done because I had the 2 Mordschützen in the forest patch that, as I said, completely cut off his rotation to the right-hand side. He does have a foothold in my middle sector, but I don't think there are any tanks there. There's like 1 or 2 Mordschützen and some BMP ones that I can also get easily rid of with my own infantry and artillery. I also, believe it or not, I still had some bombers left that didn't get sniped by some air RNG bullshit. I mean, honestly, if you take out the air RNG bullshit that happened during this game, the KD wouldn't even be looking that bad. And like again, could have done it better by like getting a bigger strike packages together with seed. But like honestly, if a 2 coops just double tap the MiG-23, that's just, I will complain about it because that's just horseshit. But yeah, I'm kind of sad for SnowWolfie still in this case, because getting a disconnect is just always so heartbreaking, especially in the moment when you are starting your comeback. It's just very unfortunate. Yeah, the struggeled M here, it did get good kill list towards the end of the game, like finally getting rid of some planes, but you know, would have been nice if it would have also killed some fighters. My own fighter usage was just very bad, honestly. Diving in for the Schmähl was completely unnecessary, especially because I had the struggeled M on the front line, which can engage the Schmähls. Also, the Spezialaufklärer died too early, even though I still do not understand how the one on the far right was seen. No idea what happened there. The T-72 here, like that, as I said, that's such a massive upgrade. That almost pays for 2 tanks killing this one T-64B. I mean, T-72M killing a T-64A is, I think, roughly equal. I think the T-64 is actually cheaper. But yeah, you can see the HE bombers here. The MiG-23 HE should get a lot more kills than just 1 BMP-2 each. That's very, very bad. T-55A killing 2 T-64s, very nice. Howitzer here did get 2 coops. I don't think the other one did get anything. Yeah, so the Howitzers unfortunately also didn't do that much. I was suppressing his tanks, so that was at least something, but not getting too many kills. 2 coops is nice, but at that point in time, most of my bombers were already dead. And another T-55 getting a T-64 and a Recon BMP-2, which is very nice. The Mi-24, this game I actually did use my Mi-24s somewhat efficiently. You know, if it didn't get dived by 2 fighters that just dove through 5 million Strelas and Eagles, they could have been even better. But getting a T-64 is already pretty nice. Then this SVW Conqueror is just wrecking everything that the SnowWolfie had. Absolutely fantastic kill list for this. There's a T-72 that I repositioned to the to engage the BMP-1s, was also very important because, as I said, they're not good. They're not cost efficient, but they can still be dangerous with the Conquerors, so you still want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. But yeah, I think that's, and then yeah, one SV22 AT getting 1 T-64. This is so sad. Oh my god, man. On his side, yeah, the SV27 did an absolutely fantastic job, just not getting killed by anything. Complete main character syndrome on this pilot there. But who can blame him if like all my stuff just completely shits the bed and misses him all the time, or only hits him once. Yeah, the Mr. honestly didn't do that much. Yeah, the Spezialaufklärer is painful, and 2 Conquerors, but the Mr. is also pretty expensive, so could have been much worse. But this T-64B1 was just the bane of my existence. Like, look at this kill list. It's absolutely insane. I just wasn't able to kill him. I think also what I should have done in those engagements was specifically right-click a single tank and not just let my tanks engage on their own, because then they engage different tanks, then they also switch targets because the targeting system is still complete dog shit, and they switch targets once it's stunned and not finish it off. That would have been much better from my side. So definite skill issue from me. But yeah, this C64B1 did like half of the kills on his side. And I mean, 2 T-72M1s. To be fair, it's only 2 tanks, I think. But all the other stuff is just so much. The sheer volume of kills is very painful. And yeah, the Berusia here just killing so much. It was finishing off the Mi-23s that were killed by the Coops. So yeah, that's why it got killed. Oh, actually, both the Mi-23s did go down to the Berusia. Okay, well, okay, so then it wasn't a double tap. But it still was a first hit by the Coop on a 30 ECM plane. So it's still kind of bullshit. And the Recon T-64B1 also did very well. You can see it killed a lot of tanks, but you have to remember that like those T-72Ms are good, or the other tanks are just garbage. So it's still painful to lose them, but the idea was to keep him back with this. And yeah, if I did micro a little bit better, I could have like literally killed him completely. So important thing to remember for the next time I'm playing this division. But yeah, B1V, 2 T-72s. I mean, to be fair, this I think barely pays for itself. Killing 2 C-72s because they're just so dirt cheap. I love them. And yeah, this motor circuit just deleting everything I had there. Yeah, losing the mod schützen in the SPW was also so dumb by me. So yeah, definitely. Again, want to say that I'm not pretending like I had the game in the bag or anything. SnowWolfie could have came back, but the disconnect happened, and so the game goes to me. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Next game will obviously be game 2. Let's see whether SnowWolfie can recover from this heartbreaking disconnect, honestly. And I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have a beautiful day, and bye-bye.